How about a vintage snack that's some cross between peanut brittle and a payday candy bar? Well, if that sounds good, then I have the perfect recipe for you. It's the Pastime Cooking. If you follow my channel, you know I've been cooking my way through our family's old collection of recipes, and today I pulled out a truly vintage recipe from the 1928 version of the Boston School of Cooking cookbook. I really enjoy looking through these truly old and vintage cookbooks because they were always making something out of basically nothing. Exactly what they did with this recipe. It has 5 simple ingredients: raw peanuts, a little bit of salt, a little bit of vanilla, a cup of brown sugar, and the whites of 2 eggs. I think the recipe reminds me a little bit about the lady who wrote the cookbook, Fannie Merritt Farmer. Now, she was a household name back in the 1890s, 1900s. Now, Fannie made quite the name for herself, despite the fact that all the odds were stacked against her at the time. She was partially lame after an episode of polio at the age of 16. But that didn't keep her from going to college, making a name for herself, and eventually taking over as the head instructor at the Boston School of Cooking. Eventually published her own cookbook, which actually made her very wealthy because she received most of the royalties from it. She was one of the first women to ever lecture at the Harvard Medical College, and she went on to open her own school of cooking. The recipe is really simple. You're going to beat a couple of egg whites until they're stiff, and then add in a cup of brown sugar, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of vanilla. In your roasted peanuts, bake it at 300 degrees in a buttered pan. Absolutely delicious. This is a great vintage recipe. Bring it past to present.